Player, turn up, player. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the newest episode of the Debate Mates. The playoffs are here today. They start. We got Nuggets versus Jazz, Celtics versus 76ers. Raptors and Nets, and then the nightcap. We got the Mavericks versus the Clippers. A full day of hoops
Go
for you
Mavericks.
guys.
Go Mavericks.
Before we get into all the playoff stuff, it's time for Stretch to pay off his debt. Stretch bragging about when we were texting, oh, I can handle hot sauce, I can handle the heat. So, got Texas Pete hot or hot sauce. He demanded the Texas Pete. Even though he didn't win, I still let him get a little bit of a say. So, shake this bad boy up. Hopefully I can open this since I'm on camera.
Uh-oh.
I should have done this earlier. Oh, there we go. Alright, the hot sauce is open. You want to get a sniff just so you know what you're getting yourself into?
No,
okay.
no.
Then here's
Smelling increases the fear. You don't fear. You just do. You just attack. You know? You just have to attack.
I don't know if you guys can see how much is in here, Stretch.
All right. And bottoms up.
How is it?
Hot. Hot. But
when we get to 100 subscribers, this is the giveaway. Some Texas Pete.
Man.
Hot sauce.
That is hot.
The Stretch special.
That is hot.
Alright.
Very tasty though, but it is hot.
So now that we've got Stretch struggling to think with all the hot sauce going on in there, we're going to start in the Eastern Conference because the Eastern Conference is the weaker conference.
The East is least.
Start with the 1 versus 8. We got a lot to
8.
talk about, so we're going to try to run through it a little fast, especially for these more boring series.
Yeah, 1-8.
1-8, Bucks, Magic. You know, and actually the first video we ever did together was playoff preview last year. So it's coming full circle here today. Bucks versus Magic. What are we talking?
Sweep.
Okay. So we both have the Magic advancing in the 4-0, right?
Blowout City, all 4 games.
Yeah, Magic versus... My dad asked me earlier today, he was like, I need you to help me with the lawn today. And I said, can we do it tomorrow? Magic, Bucks play, I'll miss that game for the lawn.
Absolutely.
I mean, this series has blowout written all over it.
I don't even know why they're there.
If the Bucks were in the Western Conference, I mean, the Bucks have been looking like they're ready to be upset potential. Giannis apparently is mad. They went 3-5 in the bubble. He was obviously mad. He headbutted Mo Wagner, got the suspension.
And
he got into a fight in the Brooklyn game, got into a little shoving match.
Yeah.
They look like they're ready to be upset. If they were playing Portland, they're coming in hot. I could maybe see a 6 or 7 game series, but you got the Magic. That's weak.
This is trash.
4-game sweep.
This is trash.
Do we need to talk about it anymore?
No.
I'm sorry if you're a Milwaukee or Magic fan watching this video.
This is trash.
But we're not even going to spend
But
any more daylight on this.
watch out next series. That 4-5 could get a little interesting.
Yeah. So now we got the 2 versus 7, which I think is actually a good series.
Could be.
So
Could be.
what is your prediction for this?
Sweep.
Okay.
No. If Karis LeVert gets hot, maybe they could get a game.
I'm kind of stuck between 5 and 6, honestly. Raptors in 5 or 6. Because the Nets have every guy on their roster right now is fighting for a spot next year.
I agree.
Karis LeVert even could be traded.
Yeah, I mean he will be traded.
Spencer Dinwiddie looks like their 6th man / shooting guard of the future. If he performs, maybe they keep him, or maybe he says, you know what, keep me, trade Dinwiddie, I want to stay. Joe Harris is up for free agency. If he shoots well, they've already said he's priority 1 this offseason. If he doesn't perform, maybe they look for another shooter.
I think Joe Harris is going to be solid.
I mean, even when Kyrie Irving had that rant where he was talking about the guys he wanted to trade, Jared Allen was mentioned not mentioned when he was talking about the guys that he liked.
But that's because he liked.
If he doesn't perform, he might be gone. Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot has been shooting really well all of a sudden.
He's auditioning for other teams.
If he averages 20 points, 15 to 20 points, will they keep him? I mean, he's not even auditioning for the Nets. He's auditioning just for a spot.
He's auditioning for G League teams.
I could go through every player on the Nets and say why they have a great purpose this playoffs. So I think they're going to be...
He's going to be in the G League next year.
Yeah, he's going to be...
He might be in the G League affiliate in Spain. Oh man, I'm not a fan of his game.
What is the hot sauce duty stretch.
I'm not a fan of his game. He's pretty bad.
So I'm gonna say 5 because.
Gentleman sweep.
Yeah, because Timothy Luau Cabaret, guys like that were getting hot in the series in the earlier games. They were getting hot against teams that were either A, mentally checked out because they were already making the playoffs, or B, just bad defensive teams. Like the Trailblazers, bad defensive team. When they beat the Bucks, mentally checked out.
Yeah.
The Raptors are neither of those things.
I'm gonna go 4.
Raptors are the best defensive team in the league, my opinion.
Sweet.
So you're not going to be seeing these guys that average 5 points per game in the regular season all of a sudden go off for 20.
Right.
It's not happening against the Raptors.
And it's playoff time. Like, Raptors know what's on the line.
Yeah.
This thing's going to be sweet.
And
there's no home court advantage. Like, I can see if they was going to Brooklyn.
Right.
You know, you get excited that your home crowd is there.
Kyrie and KD in the stands watching.
No.
They
haven't even tuned in interactively. Like, they haven't even.
They should be on the fan. Well, you know, the one guy brought Kevin Durant. He had the goat on his lap, so Kevin Durant was there in spirit. I don't know if that was a Nets game though, but at least it was nice of Kevin Durant to make an appearance. So I'm gonna say Raptors in 5.
I got 4.
Raptors in 4 for you.
Mm-hmm.
And now here's where we get interesting. This is the bulk of the episode when we get to 3, 6, 4, 5.
4,
3 and 6, Celtics, 76ers. Since I'm the resident Celtics fan, I've decided I'll go first.
What you got?
This worries me a little bit.
They should.
Honestly, if it were Embiid and Simmons, I'd say, okay, Celtics gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
One or the other kind of scares me a little bit more because they seem to play better when one is gone.
Absolutely.
The 76ers seem to have a pretty good team camaraderie. If you've been watching the Matisse Thybulle vlogs, get an inside look at the locker room. There seem to be a tight-knit group of guys, at least 4 or 5 of them are.
Yeah.
I'm obviously picking the Celtics.
Okay. But
I'll give
how many games?
I'll give the Sixers 2 games. I'll go Celtics in 6. The 76ers don't have, especially without Ben Simmons, who's going to guard Tatum, Brown, and Kemba Walker.
Well, you got,
and Gordon Hayward.
Well, you got Tobias Harris, Richardson.
Yeah, Josh Richardson.
Josh Richardson.
Yep. Matisse Thybulle, who's looking to start most likely.
Yeah, and
Shake Milton probably will start at point.
I'm not a fan of Shake, but I mean he can stay in front of Kemba.
The big advantage is the center position. They're gonna have Joel Embiid versus Daniel Tice.
Yeah, he's gonna kill
That's where I look. But then again, what are we seeing from Joel Embiid? Is he locked in?
He's so inconsistent.
I mean, he's not gonna. One thing that he feeds off of, and he feeds off opposing crowds.
Right.
Toronto, that's when he broke out the airplane, listening to the crowd. He feeds off of the people that hate him.
Right.
There's not going to be anybody there that's going to be booing Embiid.
There's no one there.
Unless the 76ers bench is like booing Embiid.
This is like an AU tournament type of thing. And so because it's that type of format, it goes to the Celtics because Jason Tatum just came out of that.
Yep.
Jaylen Brown just came out of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these guys were on a circuit, you know what I'm saying, where they not a whole lot of fans. Your team against that team, and we're just playing. Like, I don't think Embiid ever experienced like AAU.
He didn't start playing until he was like 17.
Right, you see what I'm saying? So he went straight to Kansas. Like he doesn't know what this is about. Even Ben Simmons barely, if he was playing, would barely know what this is about. He just spent most of the time in Australia. Like he doesn't understand the dynamic of the bubble where you got to create your own energy. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to stop runs on your own. Like there is no if the kid can shoot free throws, he gonna make all his free throws. There's no crowd behind the thing waving, gonna distract. No. He's gonna make his free throws.
Right.
So I think Celtics win. I give him 6.
All right, so we agree Celtics in 6. Who is your X factor for this series for the 76ers to make this interesting?
Tobias Harris.
Okay, that's an interesting one because he's been very off and on, but can't give you 20 a night if he's locked in.
Right. When he came to Philadelphia, he was supposed to be the next All-Star. They were supposed to have 4 All-Stars, and he hasn't quite lived up to that billing.
Right.
So if he plays on an All-Star level, I mean, he can take over a game by himself. Like we saw that when he was younger anyway. He could take over a game by himself, but he hasn't done that in a couple years.
Right. My X factor is going to be Shake Milton.
Shake.
Can the milkshake bring the Celtics to the graveyard? I'm gonna cut that. That was a bad joke.
That was a bad joke.
That was a bad joke.
That was a pretty bad joke.
But I was thinking the wheels were turning when you were talking. I was trying to think, how do I?
Yeah.
But Shake Milton actually is my X Factor. I wasn't just.
I mean, that's a good
trying
pick.
to be funny there.
Yeah, that's a good pick for X Factor, though.
I mean, there was a game earlier this year against the Clippers where he went off for like 37 points. I'm not expecting that from him.
No.
But can he give you 15 to 20? Because you're going to need that extra scoring punch against a Celtics team who has 4 guys in the starting lineup who can give you 20 on any given night.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Moving on, now this is the most interesting Eastern Conference series,
I like this
would
series.
say.
I like this series.
We've got Bubble TJ versus Jimmy Buckets, Heat versus Pacers. I mean, no home court advantage, so these teams are it's gonna be an interesting series because these teams feast at their home courts.
Yeah.
What do we got?
Going 7, I'm going to pick Miami.
I'm disappointed we're not disagreeing on any of these because I also have Heat in 7.
Yeah, the reason I'm going Heat in 7 is because I think T.J. Warren will burn out. The longer the series goes, the less effective he will be. I don't even know if this kid's ever been to the playoffs before. You know,
TJ. Yeah, because he's been with the Suns his whole career.
Right, you see what I'm saying? So he hasn't.
But it's not really like the playoffs.
The intensity of the game is going to be different.
Right, but as far as like the fans and the
No. All that is all that, you know, you throw that out.
Right.
But the intensity of the other team, knowing that it is the playoffs and we have to be locked in every game.
Right. Especially against the Heat, you take that to another level.
Absolutely.
And I think the rookies won't be for the Heat. That was one of my biggest worries because you don't know how they'll be when they're playing in Indiana and you've got crazy diehard fans screaming, yelling. That's when a Duncan Robinson, a Tyler Hero, Kendrick Nunn might fall off. Even a Bam Adebayo who doesn't have any playoff experience.
Here's another one where these guys are like not too far removed from playing AAU basketball.
Right.
They're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they might get outclassed on the wing position. Like Victor Oladipo is starting to get his legs back. T.J. Warren is, like I said, he's lighting it up.
The best player of all time.
Right. He's lighting it up right now. But you know they might get outclassed for a couple games, but they're going to light it up.
This is a really interesting storyline to me.
I think it comes down to the bigs, though.
Is Domantas Sabonis coming back? Is what I was getting to. When is he playing? Or is he playing game 1? Is he playing game 6? Like, how did he and Bam Adebayo match up? That's interesting for me because they're so different, really.
And
Bam Adebayo was defensive. Domantas Sabonis
offensive.
Great passer.
Right.
So. And maybe Domantas Sabonis fits even better now being a second or third option because passing is his forte.
Absolutely.
He'll get guys like T.J. Warren open looks, Malcolm Brogdon, Victor Oladipo. So, I mean...
You go more of a Jokic type of, you know, get him at the high post and let people run off of him and he can pass down. But if he doesn't come back game 1, so you're talking about Bam Adebayo versus Miles Turner.
Right. Miles Turner is big. He's a little bit stronger than I don't know about that. He's a better shot blocker, but that's about it.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean...
I think Bam will destroy him.
I could see the Pacers pulling this out, but...
I can too.
I'd like to see a stat on this. When is the last time Jimmy Butler lost a first-round series? I don't know off the top of my head. I don't think you know either.
No.
But I can't remember the last time Jimmy Butler has led a team that's worse than him or just about as good as him, beat him 4 times in a row.
No.
Or 4 out of 7. I can't think of a time that's happened.
No.
He's just, I feel like he's going to be
Chicago,
so locked in.
Yeah, they went deep.
He and guys like Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, both of them have been on a tear these last couple of games. Right. Maybe they've been playing more against the G League rosters, but still.
I mean, if Jimmy gets to the playoffs, he usually, you know, gets a deep run in.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're going to win. I'm pulling for them to win in 7. Don't be surprised if it goes 6. But also the next round.
That's where it gets interesting.
Woo!
So are we going, you want to go whole playoffs through or you want to switch to the West
now? We can switch to the West.
Okay, and then maybe we'll come back to it a little bit.
Yeah.
Now the West, I think 1 through 8, down to 4 through 5, each of these are going to be very interesting.
Very.
We've got, starting off with the 1 through 8, the all of a sudden underdog Lakers versus the 8 seed Portland Trailblazers.
Let's cut the madness right now, Matty Ice.
Yep,
let's cut the madness right now. If anybody believes the Portland Trailblazers can beat the Lakers 4 times, what? I drink the whole bottle.
Okay, if the Blazers win, you'll drink the whole bottle.
Whole bottle.
Blazers, please win.
Whole bottle. Not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening at all.
How many games do you give the Trailblazers?
1.
Wow.
And that's Dame Lillard going berserk.
60, 70 points in a game.
Yes.
Yeah.
And barely winning. See, this is what I'm saying. Dame's been going crazy.
Right.
And they barely are beating teams.
They won't play defense.
That's what I'm saying.
The Blazers have been going 150% games 1 through 8. The Lakers stopped carrying that game too.
Yes.
After they played the Clippers, it was like, okay, enough.
We're good.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen their offense go down. Well, of course it's going to go down. LeBron's playing 15 minutes a game.
Once they clinched, they beat the Clippers, and then they clinched, I want to say it was like the next game. It was like, all right, whatever, we're good.
Right.
They played hard as they could against the Clippers.
Played hard against the Raptors.
And they played hard against the Raptors. Came up a little short. But, hey, that was a good game.
Right.
That was a respectable game. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you lost that game, no one's like, ooh, what's
and then
going on with the
AD had to
Lakers?
show the reigning defensive player of the year
Right.
what offense looked like. And then after that, I think that was when they clinched against the Jazz.
Right. So it was like, all right, we're good.
Yeah. If you're a Lakers fan, don't be worried about this
It's
at all.
not happening, man.
I will say this. If the Blazers want to make this, because I agree it's going to go 5.
Mm-hmm.
If the Blazers want to extend this series at all, 6-7, where anything could happen if it gets to Game 7,
Right.
you never know with Dame and CJ.
Absolutely.
Hassan Whiteside has to care. I saw a tweet the other day when the Blazers were playing the Grizzlies, and it was like Hassan Whiteside's, and I'll edit it a little bit, Hassan Whiteside's ability to not give a is so outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no matter what the circumstances, he doesn't care.
Doesn't care, man. I believe he was carried earlier on in the season because, he basically didn't have a backup. It was just him out there. But when Nurkic came back, he got pushed to the bench, limited minutes. I mean, even in limited minutes and not carrying, he still does pretty good. Like,
right. If you're Hassan Whiteside, if you're watching this, my challenge to you, the Lakers should never be able to put Dwight Howard on the floor.
Right, absolutely.
Hassan Whiteside should dominate every time.
He should kill Dwight
Howard comes in the game. Make them have JaVale McGee or Anthony Davis out there 40-plus minutes a game.
Right.
That's when you could start to get them down to your level.
Right.
If you play this little baby ball, you're kind of there shooting a little floater
if
from the
Dwight
free throw
Howard
line.
is winning that matchup, this series will go 4.
Right. And Dame and CJ have been going all out for the last 8 games. CJ's got a fractured back.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard, I mean, the game was at stake, and their playoff chances were at stake. In the whole fourth quarter, Dame took like 2 shots.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I don't know. He must have been so tired.
He's tired.
Yeah.
He's tired. For the Herculean feat that he had to do just to get them to that situation. And then the Herculean effort he put on through 3 quarters.
Yeah.
Like, dude is tired.
I'll give Nurkic the advantage over JaVale McGee, but they probably put Anthony Davis on him.
Yeah.
Zach Collins isn't doing a whole lot.
Nope. Melo won't do a whole lot.
Yeah, Skinny Melo. Who's guarding LeBron? Skinny Melo?
He'll destroy him.
Zach Collins?
Destroy him too.
Are they going to put Wendy and Gabriel out there at the power forward position like when Collins got injured in the Grizzlies game?
That's where the issues start for them. Because you win the guard matchup, but
right.
I mean you got 2 of the top 5 guys in the league, man.
I mean, and how many points are the Blazers going to have to score to win? They're going to have to average like 150 a game.
Yeah.
Because they give up so many points.
But here's the thing: the Lakers play defense.
Yeah.
You're not going to score 150 on the Lakers. You might get 115 or so, maybe, with the firepower that they have. But the Lakers can get up 130.
Yeah, so since we agree that the Lakers are beating the Trailblazers moving on to round 2, how do you feel about the recent announcement that they're going to wear their Kobe, the all-black, I think, like Mamba scale jerseys? Do you think do you like that?
I mean, I don't mind it, but just go play, man.
Just go play?
Just go play. You don't need the theatrics, man. Just go play, man. I mean, Kobe was about the theatrics.
Yeah.
So if you really want to honor that, man, go play.
Right. So we agree, Lakers in 5.
Speaking of, the new Kobe's are dropping next weekend.
Right.
They're bringing them back.
Okay.
Sneakerapp.com or whatever,
Sneakerapp.com.
What is it?
I don't know.
Sneakers? Sneakers.com?
Maybe.
Whatever. They got an app. Sneakers.
Are you gonna get a pair?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
You're gonna get a pair so we can give them away for our.
No. I will be wearing those.
So moving on to the 2-7, another very.
Let's go Mavs.
Another very interesting
Luka
series.
the Don.
We've got the 2-seeded Los Angeles Clippers versus the 7-seed Dallas Mavericks.
Luka the Don.
So I know you're putting on this a little charade that you think the Mavs stand a chance.
They do.
But let's hear your real prediction.
They do.
Let's get the prediction. Let's hear the unbiased stretch opinion. Let's get it.
Clippers in 6.
Okay.
However,
All right.
I am pulling for the Mavs.
You're afraid of the Clippers.
No, I'm not afraid of them. But I do feel like I don't like them.
You don't? Why not? Just
I don't-
because
I
they're
don't
the team.
like
They're the
them.
LeBron.
Yeah, I just don't like them. I don't like how they got put together. I don't like, the trash is coming out of their locker room. First of all, they play in the basement of the Staples Center. Okay, that's number one. Number two, the locker room is in the trailer behind the Staples Center. You're the little brothers, and therefore you shall remain the little brothers.
Until they beat them in the Western Conference
Right, it's not
Finals.
gonna happen. It's not happening. They won't get there. They're not gonna get there.
So what? You think the Nuggets are? Jazz?
Yes, I think if the Nuggets win this series, when the Nuggets win this series, because I'm picking them to win that. I got the Nuggets beating them next round.
Wow, you just hate
Yes.
the Clippers.
I think the Nuggets are a bad matchup for them. Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
All right, so
This is real.
I'll come speak some sense into this.
Who's gonna guard Jokic?
Ivica Zubac.
Yeah, right.
Dude, look. If Jokic has to average 30 or 40 a game to beat the Clippers, let him average 30 or 40.
And
He's
he
not
will-
willing to do it.
He can,
He can, but he won't.
but he will.
He would rather average 40 assists than 40 points.
He might get that too. He might have a 40-40 game.
We'll see what happens when you put Kawhi Leonard on Jamal Murray and Paul George on Michael Porter Jr.
First of all, Michael Porter will destroy Paul George. That's number one. Okay? So Kawhi Leonard can't guard everybody.
And who's gonna guard Kawhi Leonard? Torrey Craig?
No, you put Michael Porter on him. Just make it hard for him.
Put
You ain't
the
trying to
rookie on
stop him. Yeah, you're not trying to stop him. You just want to make it hard. You want to make somebody else beat you.
We'll get to that in a little bit. I'll speak some sense to stretch.
Nobody's
hopefully.
scared of that, man. And, okay, so what? He gets 35. Cool. Whoa. Paul George can't get over 20. And that can very well not happen. So you put your best defender on Paul George. You let Kawhi get his. Paul George don't get nothing. Game over. They've been scouted.
Okay, so I'll take the Clippers also, and I'll take them in 6 as well.
Okay.
But
If it
this
goes 7,
this
be
series
careful.
has upset potential, definitely. The Mavericks have a historically good offense. Who's gonna guard Kristaps?
Yep.
This is such an interesting matchup for me. How does Luka fare against Kawhi and Paul George, Patrick Beverly?
I think he's going to go at them. The only person that can really give Luka a hard time, in my opinion, will be Kawhi.
Right.
I think he's too big for Patrick Beverly. I think he's too savvy for Paul George. Like, he'll just put Paul George in pick and roll, and see if those shoulders are really strong enough
Right.
to keep getting hit. You know what I'm saying? So the only one that can give him
He's an
issues is
evil
Kawhi.
genius. He's
Yeah.
trying to injure Paul George.
No, I mean, you're going to run him in the screens. We know his history of having weak shoulders. Put him in a pick and roll.
Right.
It's basketball, baby.
So the thing with the Mavericks, though, is they're definitely one of the teams that has a big advantage from not having to travel.
Mhm.
Because guys like Seth Curry, Dorian Finney-Smith, Tim Hardaway Jr., those are guys that games don't always travel for them.
Mhm.
They might get 20 at home and 5 on the road.
Right.
When you're playing in the same spot, no fans, it might also...
How many courts is there in the bubble?
How many
Are they
quarters?
just playing on 2 courts, or are they
Oh,
playing
of course.
on
I think they're 4, I think.
4? Okay.
Yeah, because they've got 4 games a day, so I think they're 4.
Are they rotating?
They must be. I don't know. They're 2 or 4. I don't remember the exact amount, but when you've got guys like Seth Curry, Tamar Dewey Jr., who are going to be able to say, same court, not worry about travel,
Right.
not worry about opposing fans.
Right.
That's when you start to see them go off a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But.
All right, give it to me now.
This is like the Trailblazers discussion.
Right.
Can they stop the Clippers? Because we always talk about how the Clippers are made to stop you on defense.
Right.
But we don't give enough credit to the fact that they can also score 120.
Okay.
Kawhi, Paul George, Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell.
They're loaded.
This team is
loaded.
not going to have trouble scoring on the Mavericks at all.
No.
And the Mavericks are going to have a little bit of trouble scoring on them, I think. Even though they have the best offense in history. They're not statistically speaking.
When you have a 7-1 3-point shooter,
Right.
man, that is hard.
I'm gonna be honest. Here's the X factor.
That is hard.
Montrezl Harrell is small.
Mm-hmm.
Boban Marjanovic is not.
No, he's not.
He is 7'4", I believe.
If they had
Can
Dwight,
Montrezl Harrell stop him?
no, if they had Dwight Powell, I would feel better for the Mavericks. Like I would actually say it's going 7.
Okay.
The added length and athleticism that he used to play with. So when you throw Boban out there, Boban can't run with Montrez.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if we in the half court set, I can throw it to Boban. Boban's going to score every time.
Yeah. I will say though, this is another thing for the Clippers. Luka Doncic has shown he's not like gonna get a bunch of technical fouls or anything,
Right.
but when he feels like he gets contact, he lets the refs know.
As he should, he's a superstar.
Patrick Beverley is the type of guy that might be able to get under Luka Doncic's skin a little bit. And I don't know if he's got the Damian Lillard mentality where you get under my skin, fine, I'll drop 40 on you. He seems more like, you'll get under my skin, okay, I'll just get an assist.
Right.
I don't know if he's at that point in his career yet where he feels like the need to just show somebody up when they disrespect him.
Right.
So
I can agree with that.
That, if they can get under his head, if they can make him feel like, or get under his skin and make him feel like he's not getting the calls he deserves, will we see maybe him decide, okay, fine, I'm just going to jack up threes now. I'm mad, I'm not getting fouls in the paint. I'll just shoot on the perimeter. I'll just pass every time.
Then the Clippers, will beat them in 5.
Yeah. If they can turn Luka Doncic from a superstar to a sophomore,
Right.
then they've got a fighting chance to end at 4 and 5.
Yeah. I agree.
But if they can't, Kristaps Porzingis is an all-star. People forget it, but he is. Luka Doncic is a superstar.
Right.
That's a rare combination, all-star and superstar, especially this young, not worrying about traveling, playing on the Clippers court. They have a lot going in their favor.
I agree.
So now let's move on to the 3-6 matchup.
I got Nuggets and
Nuggets
6.
and Jazz. This
Nuggets
is
and 6,
a
baby.
little bit of a snoozer for me.
No?
What do you mean, no?
A snoozer?
Yeah. I mean, both teams are kind of boring, let's be honest. I mean, I think it'll be I'm going to watch it. I think we have the chance to get a lot of close games. This stretch is showing me the score right now. Nuggets are winning by 1 with 6:40 left. So we should definitely be able to update you on the final score by the time the video is done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Nuggets in 5. I just feel like as good as Rudy Gobert is on defense, Donovan's got 31, 6 and 6.
Wow.
As good as Rudy Gobert is on defense, if Jokic decides he wants to play offense, I don't think Gobert can guard him. Jokic is too big. I know he's slimmed down. He's skinny Jokic now,
I agree.
but he's still just he's huge.
Yeah.
Like Gobert is long, but that's not how he's going to win this battle.
I agree.
Jamal Murray, Donovan Mitchell is an interesting matchup. Yes, Mitchell is the all-star out of these two, but Mitchell can be here and there. I know you're showing me the box score there. Donovan Mitchell is dominating, but will we see that game 2? I mean, this is going to be 5, but 5 to 7 games without Mike Conley, without a point guard.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Donovan Mitchell's going to have to play point guard, be guarded by the number 1 defensive player on the Nuggets for 5 to 7 games. Does he wear down without Bojan Bogdanovic there to score 20 points a night?
He will definitely.
I mean, eventually we're going to have to see a turn where Joe Ingles has to become point guard number 1. Donovan Mitchell just playing shooting guard on the wing.
I agree with that.
No Ed Davis on the bench, not a huge difference maker for me. Nuggets are so incredibly deep, possibly the second deepest team in the league. Michael Porter Jr. has shown, especially like you're saying with the more AAU format, that he's going to score.
Struggling right now, but You know,
he can shoot threes. He can get it off the dribble. He's gonna be fine, I think.
Yeah.
I think the Nuggets have such advantages just because they're so deep.
Yeah.
They've got a more talented roster.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Jazz were starting Dejuan. I've never heard of him before.
Morgan?
Yeah, what was his name?
Juwan
Morgan.
Yeah.
First NBA start in his career today.
Is in the playoffs.
No Mike Conley. You can see it's hurting them.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Nuggets in 5. You say Nuggets in 6. So why do you think the Jazz get another game?
Well,
Just the Donovan Mitchell factor?
Yeah. Just that alone.
What's the box score now? 97-96. Jazz have the lead.
Donovan Mitchell just hit a 3. It looks like
Now, of course, by the time this video is posted, this game will probably already have finished.
Yeah.
So we're making our predictions though before the game ends. Don't want to cause any controversy.
I mean, like I said,
there.
I think the Nuggets get them in 6. But I mean, Donovan Mitchell, man, he's too big for Jamal Murray.
They had Torrey Craig on him, who's long, tall.
Right. He's killing him.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's killing that guy.
If they get Gary Harris back, who's a better defender?
Yeah.
Probably their best defender.
So what's going on with him? Is he coming back at all?
I
Like
really
he's
have
there?
no idea, honestly. He and Will Barton both have just kind of been there.
Yeah.
And they're always like,
there.
well, they'll come back, but they're never really a timetable. So 3-6, keep an eye on that one. Jazz definitely have upset potential, but I'll go Nuggets in 5. You got Nuggets in 6.
Yeah.
We haven't disagreed on any, but I think this might be the one. 4-5, OKC Thunder versus the Houston Rockets. Unfortunately, we don't get Westbrook versus the Thunder, at least until game 2.
That's all right.
What are we thinking here?
I still got Rockets.
Okay, so
Rockets
I'm going to tell you why you're wrong.
Okay, go ahead.
We're going Thunder in 5.
5.
Yes.
5?
Hear me out.
I'm listening. I'm all ears on this.
So you know my stance on Chris Paul being one of the top 13 players in the league. You agreed with me on that. I think you had him 13, 14. You had him in there with, or you might have even had him 12. So you can't disagree on that.
No, he's a top 15 guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is gonna sound a little crazy.
Okay.
I'm not saying before I go any further.
Is this a hot take?
I'm not saying that he will be able to lock up James Harden. I'm not saying he'll be able to stop James Harden.
Okay, please don't say that.
But the scrappy rookie, Lou Dort, has done a phenomenal job guarding stars in the league.
Oh my God.
I was looking at a post the other day, and it was his superstar stats when shooting on Dort recently. No one was shooting over 45%. You got names like LeBron on that list. You had Giannis. You had some good names on that list who were not able to score on Luke Dort. He's tough. He'll play hard.
Okay.
He might be able to outwork James Harden, make him work a little bit more.
Okay.
I will say, though,
Okay.
if there's a single screen and he's guarded by Gallinari or Steven Adams, that all goes downhill because neither of them can stick with him whatsoever.
It's good. That's where you're going to get a lot of.
But I will say this. Steven Adams, I think this is when we'll really start to see how small ball works.
Yeah.
Steven Adams is a tough guy who's going to be in there in the post. Like, he's not stretching out.
No.
I don't care who they're playing. They could have 5 shooting guards on the court. He's staying in the center.
Yeah.
He's going to have to average 20 and 10 if this is going to come true. And I think
agree.
he has that in him. It's just going to be because Chris Paul's a smart player. He's going to know, all right, feed the ball inside, feed the ball inside. And then the Thunder are the clutchest team in the league. You get it close, the Thunder will win.
Oh, yeah, because
Chris Paul, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander have been a phenomenal duo. Shai Gilgeous looks like he has all-star potential. Oh, another guy who you're talking about, close to the AAU circuit. He's a second-year guy. Can he average anywhere between 15 and 20, 5 assists? And then the Westbrook factor. It's never a matter of energy with Westbrook.
No.
But I am saying, if this was a real postseason, they were playing in OKC and in Houston, you might see 40-point triple-doubles out of this guy.
Right.
He would be extremely fired up.
Right.
He still will be.
Right.
Don't get me wrong.
That's my whole reason
But-
for picking him, is that Westbrook is going to single-handedly rip them a new one.
That's what you think.
He is.
I mean, it's hard to argue with that.
Don't let them win game 1. If Houston wins game 1 without Russ, and then Russ comes in,
Yeah. That's going to be trouble.
like, that job is playing downhill the whole game.
Yeah, and the Thunder are a team that have some guys that can shoot the three, so the Rockets aren't exactly going to be destroying them there. It's just a question of how good is small ball really? Can the Thunder expose small ball?
Well, here's the test. Because if the Rockets are raining them threes down on you, you know,
there's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can do. And they go out here and they hit freaking 18 to 23s, man. Like, what are you going to do about that? Like, just shake their hand and say, look, good game. But
then you're not running them off the three-point line. You still shoot them anyways.
They're going to shoot them regardless. Yeah. That's the crazy. They're going to shoot them regardless. They don't care.
You could put 5 Giannis's out there. And
they're going to shoot them anyway.
Yeah.
They're going to shoot them.
They're not afraid to shoot.
No. And then, on the flip side of that, who is going to be your paint scorer? Consistent paint scorer.
Right.
To make them say, okay, we got to do something else on defense.
Yeah.
Because the Rockets are basically just going to chase you off the line and give you twos. Like, we're going to give you twos all night long.
Yeah. I do think, though, there's a little bit of a stigma with the Rockets that they aren't good defenders. James Harden has proven himself to be a solid post defender.
He's solid.
That being said, Steven Adams is like a foot taller. He's got and Steven Adams, I know James Harden is really strong for a guard. Steven Adams is most likely the strongest guy in the league. The man is Aquaman. I mean,
I agree.
He is going to dominate anybody in the post for the Rockets.
But they want that. See, the Rockets, they're not even going to fight you on it.
Right. But if the Rockets, when you talk about the Rockets, they're more ifs than any other team in the league.
Okay.
Because they can go 0 for 27 like they did against the Warriors, or they can blow you away and go hit 43s like they have in the past. If you can get some games like they had against the Bucks in the bubble where they're like 21 for 60 some, I know the Bucks lost that game, but if you're going full steam, then you start to get into scary territory if you're a Rockets fan, because you say, these guys are shooting 30% from three. We won't take a shot inside the paint. This is where the Thunder get an advantage. And Chris Paul's the midi god. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's not making a whole lot happen from three. It's going to be a 3 versus 2 battle, and 2s are more likely to go in when you got guys that shoot them at the percentage of like Chris Paul, Steven Adams, than 3s when they're shot by, let's be honest, James Harden role players. Might be a little harsh, but...
Listen. Them guys can shoot the ball, man.
And I don't know. AAU Austin Rivers is like the greatest player of all time.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
He's going to go off. He's going to go off right now.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Austin Rivers, Ben McLemore,
Daniel House,
like Robert Covington. These guys can shoot the ball, man.
And this is another thing. If you...
Like, who's going to check them guys?
But if you get PJ Tucker shooting threes anywhere but the corner, it's basically 4-on-5.
Right.
Because he's not driving. I mean, he's not going to drive by Steven Adams.
No.
He's not going into the lane for a.
No, he's standing in the corner.
Yeah, if you confront him or somehow find a way to make him uncomfortable in the corners, get him out to the arc, then you're going to really bunch up their offense.
I agree.
And who guards Westbrook when he comes back is the thing that's a little worrisome for me. But honestly,
they're gonna put Chris Paul on him.
You can defend Westbrook like
they're gonna have
free throw line. He's not shooting threes,
right?
And if he is, thank you.
I mean, but that's his game,
right?
Like, that's what he wants to do.
Yeah, that's what he wants to do.
So you can guard him at the free throw line, and he's still gonna shoot it right over top of you. Like that's what he wants to do anyway.
But I would love it if he would do that rather than drive in the lane and dunk at every possession.
Well, that's gonna be his intention.
Yeah. That definitely is.
Yeah, it's going to be his intention. He's going to try to come in there and he's going to rain down some thunder on you.
Yeah, so why don't we just go out and fill out our whole brackets?
You want to do the whole bracket today?
Let's do it. So I've got the Bucks. We'll go to the East first. We both agreed Bucks versus Heat is going to be the 1-4.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take Bucks in 6.
Heat in 7.
Whoa, hot take from Stretch. Can you explain?
Shooters. And if they win this first round matchup, they're going to be rolling.
Bucks give up a lot of threes.
So, exactly. That's the shot that they give up. And so the Heat shoot and usually make a lot of threes.
This is going to sound a little crazy, but is Bam Adebayo going to be used to going out to guard Brook Lopez?
Brook Lopez is a non-factor.
But Brook Lopez is a lot more than a non-factor. He can shoot it, and he's going to make probably first team on defense this year. Oh. He is such improved defender in the paint.
Okay, I get you there. Okay.
But then again, Bam Adebayo isn't hook shot, posterized dunk down there. He's more of a facilitator.
That's what I'm saying. So is Brook Lopez gonna come out and guard him when he's pushing the ball up the floor on the break? You know what I'm saying? If you don't stop the ball, he's gonna blow past you and dunk it.
And the Raptors have also gone a bit of a more practical small ball than the Rockets, with Jay Crowder at the 4,
Right.
Bam Adebayo at the 5.
Right.
It's going to be an interesting series, but here is the kicker for me.
All right, what you got?
Kendrick Nunn will be lucky to play for a college basketball team next year. He'll be lucky to get a spot on the Menchville High School basketball team, JV even. He has been horrible in the bubble.
Wow.
He
had a good regular season.
He did, and then he threw it away.
Well,
He should get his Rookie of the Year votes taken away for how horrible he's been.
That quarantine really affected a lot of rookies.
Not Tyler Hero. Not Big Boy Zion. He was
Zion gained like 20 pounds.
20 pounds extra weight.
Right.
Yeah, he was ready.
Oh, God.
He was staying in the gym.
Yeah, right. Standing in somebody's kitchen. So we'll eat.
So, if he plays anywhere close to an NBA caliber player, but Goran Dragic is still the number 1 point guard.
Yeah, I don't like that matchup where you say Kendrick Nunn can go against their backups, but he can't go against Eric Bledsoe.
Yeah, Eric Bledsoe's one of the best defenders.
Yeah, he would destroy him.
Yeah. And then Chris Middleton, we both said he was a top 25 player in the league, but can he get it on his own?
Yeah.
The Heat are really good on defense, but Chris Middleton would have his way with Kendrick Nunn or Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson is a decent defender, but
he ain't good.
He's not good enough to defend Chris Middleton. I mean,
so
we talk about the Heat as this monstrous defensive team, but they're made to defend bigs.
Yeah, they're going to play that zone, though.
Yeah, and that's going to hurt the shooters that the Bucks have.
Yeah, they're going to play that zone.
Yeah, so...
And that's going to hurt Giannis as well. Like, Giannis, because the things you give up in the zone is usually the mid-range jump shot.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to chase you off the line or make you shoot really tough threes. But we'll give you the 18-footer.
But the thing about the zone and why it works with teams like the Raptors and, Raptors this year, Raptors last year, is they have so much length compared to the Heat. Bam Adebayo was, I believe, 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah.
Jay Crowder is 6'6", 6'7".
Maybe.
So he's not going to be having trouble finding an outlet pass to if he gets into the paint.
Well, I think they play a zone. In my opinion, I think they play a zone because they're relying on their speed to get to the shooters.
Right.
And it helps with their rebounding because they're so small.
And this is another thing with rebounding. The Heat shoot a lot of threes. Bucks give up a lot of threes.
Mm-hmm.
They cannot let Giannis get into transition. And that's going to be what's happening if they shoot 30 or 40, 50 threes a game.
And don't make a lot.
Yeah. Giannis is going to be getting into transition. He's going to be feeling hot. And that's when they need to lock up on him and Chris Middleton, Kyle Korver coming off the bench get open looks.
Well, if they shoot good threes and not bad threes.
Right.
Bad threes usually lead to transition. Good threes help, you get back and you build up a wall. But man, those bad threes hurt.
So I've got the Bucks making it to the conference finals.
Okay.
Stretch has the Heat going to the conference finals, where they will face either, according to us, the Celtics, or I'm blanking on the Toronto Raptors. My Toronto Raptors. I'm a Celtics fan, but the Toronto Raptors are like my second child. I don't know why I like the Raptors. I said my Toronto Raptors because I think they're making it to the finals, not because they're my favorite team.
They are going to make it to the finals.
Yeah, so as much as I love the Celtics, and I want to say Celtics, I'm going to say Raptors in...
They're the best defensive team.
I'm going Raptors in 6.
I have the same. They're the best defensive team in basketball.
Yeah, and the Celtics have good wings, but the Raptors have good wings, good bigs.
They're solid all the way through.
Yeah, better bench.
They are really, really good.
Look, hear me out on this one.
All right.
If the Celtics, this is the postseason move you guys have to make. Brad Wanamaker's a good free throw shooter, but somehow, I don't care, your backup guard needs to be Kevin Huerter. He can honestly do it all from the guard position. He's a long defender.
What is you and these Atlanta, Maryland guys?
He's long, he's athletic, he can shoot. When Trae Young is not there, Kevin Huerter has shown all-star potential. He's gotten 20 a night when Trae's not there, 5-6 assists. I think he had 15 rebounds in a game.
Yeah.
He shows potential when he is the number one option.
He will not be a number one option.
On the bench, he would be. So I'm just throwing it out there. Kevin Huerter would fit amazingly with the Celtics.
Here's the move they need to make. Get rid of Hayward. Get rid of Hayward and get a real point guard.
Hayward's been playing really well though.
But that's why you gotta get rid of him.
Oh, get a package deal.
Yeah,
for
get a
him.
package
Okay.
deal for him.
I see what you're saying.
Like you gotta get rid of him. Get a big and a backup PG.
They don't really need a big. Got my boy Daniel Tice, most underrated player in the league.
We'll get a solid backup PG and some picks or something. But you gotta do something.
So we both agree Raptors will be facing the. I say the Bucks. You say the Heat.
Yeah.
Either way, we both agree Raptors are making it to the finals.
Yeah, Raptors in 6.
I'll say Raptors in 6 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's move to who they will be facing.
Lakers.
On the West.
Just go straight to the end. Lakers.
On the West side, we've got the Lakers, who you think will be facing the Houston Rockets, who I think will be facing the Oklahoma City Thunder. I would go Lakers in 5 against the Thunder. Just a horrible matchup for the Thunder.
Same thing for the Heat, for the Rockets. Same thing.
Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5.
All right, now, and we'll do more in-depth versions of these when we actually know the series. We're just kind of fly through it right now.
They were just overclassed them with the Rockets. The Lakers are so good at driving. Well, LeBron and AD are so good at driving the basketball, getting to the rim. They'll put the Rockets in foul trouble, get to the line all night, make them collapse. And then the shooters got to do what they do.
AD has not done well against the small ball Rockets though this year in the 2 appearances against them.
No.
He's not done well consistently for a while. At least these last 8 games. So that'll be an interesting. He's got a pretty good warm up though against the Blazers.
Yeah.
Now we've got on the 2 versus 3 side, Clippers versus Nugs. We've already heard what you have to say.
I got
How you think
Nugs.
the Nuggets will be going?
Nuggets in 7, baby.
Give me Clippers in between 5 and 6. I know you're gonna throw a fit if I go 5, so I'll go 6 just to stay in the safe here.
I'm saying 7, anticipating Gary Harris
And Will Barton.
Okay. Coming back.
I gotta go Clippers.
If they don't come back, I have Clippers in 6.
The Clippers are just better. They have.
Hey,
I mean, that's what it boils down to for me. They're just
But
better.
if they have Gary Harris and Will Barton, 2 solid wing 3-and-D guys, that can change.
Will Barton's
some
not
things.
even gonna start.
No, he's on the bench though.
Right.
So his matchup is that Lou Williams. Like, can I contain him just a little bit, and can I contribute?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I
And
like
he
a
can
lot
do
of
that.
the Nuggets pieces.
Yeah.
I like Monte Morris coming off the bench. I like Jamal Murray, Jokic.
Let's
Michael
not
Porter
forget
Jr.
about Bobo.
Let's not forget about Bobo. Let's definitely not forget about the
Bobo
goat.
is crazy.
And one of the better backup centers in the league, honestly, deserves a starting role at some point. Maybe next year. Mason Plumlee.
Yeah, like, see, look, and check this out. They can go so big
Right.
and be functional.
Yeah. Jokic was running the point a lot of the game today.
That's what I'm saying. So you got a 7-foot point guard out there, 7'2" small forward in Bobo.
Right.
Mason Plumlee can play the 4. Michael Porter can play the 2.
Then you had Jamal Murray at the 5.
Whatever, like however you want to do it.
I think Paul Millsap was the guy that started it. They had the small ball lineup, and instead of MPJ, it was Jeremy Grant.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. They can go big, but do you really think Mike Malone will pull that out at any point?
I would.
I mean, it might work, but I'm still going Clippers, and I would say 6. But we agree that the Nuggets will be making it to the conference. What are we talking here?
Overtime.
Overtime. Oh no. Okay.
Well, Donovan Mitchell has 51 points.
Wow.
Mitchell got 51 points.
The first game of the playoffs. Not disappointing.
What in the world?
I was thinking I should record this. I know I'm gonna want to watch it later, but
This Joker got 51.
how's Jokic doing? How's my boy Jokic doing?
26 and 10.
Nice.
He don't have enough shots. He only got 19 shots.
Jamal Murray 26 as well. So this is a very close game here. We might both be wrong about the Nuggets if the Jazz keep playing like this. But real quick, I've got the Clippers.
See, here's the issue.
All right.
You got Bobo on the bench not even playing. What is he doing? See, you gotta fire this guy.
So I've got the Clippers moving to the finals to play the Raptors. I got the Clippers as the champions. Stretch, I'm assuming, has the Lakers as the champions.
Yeah.
Over the Raptors.
Plumlee only played 11 minutes. Like, what is this guy doing?
So we're going to stop this video here so we can both rush home to watch overtime. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully we're right. We'll see.
If he blows this series, fire that Joker.
All right.
Get rid of
So
him.
that's a good place to end it here. Our playoff predictions, they're in. They're 100%. No going back now until we get to the second round where we can then go back on our second round, third round
Good
final
God,
predictions.
man.
But until then, debate makers.
Fire that Joker.